Hi everyone, welcome to my Basic Fire tutorial series. This is the last session of the Module 1, Overview and Fire Resources. This video series was created for the Master Program in Data Science for Healthcare and Clinical Informatics at the Faculty of Medicine, Ramathipati Hospital. My name is Ratpanyu. I'm a GP doctor and here is my background and this is my contact. So from earlier session, first we talk about why we need fire, then we see the fire specification, and then we go through important fire resource. Now I will demonstrate how to create a fire resource instance. So let's begin. Scenario 1. Mr. Somchai JD, born April 3rd, 1967. He has a Thai national ID like this one. He has an OPD visit on June 1st this year at the fictional hospital named Vechari Hospital. The hospital is located at 234 Pahonyotin Road, Phayat, Krungthep, Bangkok 10400. He got a hospital number HN like this and a visit number VN like this. He was taken care of by a checkup clinic from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The doctor who provided the service was Dr. Somsak Jingjai. So this is the scenario. If we want to model the information here to transfer electronically, let's say that we don't do anything with fire yet, just make it some computer program, which information that we will convert it into some field in the database. Maybe we can make it like this. This is the name, this is the date of birth, this is the ID, and maybe we give them the field name like this one. Mr. Somchai is the name field, DOB field, ID number, and so on. So if we bring all of the fields into a spreadsheet, maybe we can get something like this. So what we have to do is mapping between the local field to a file resource. I have to disclaim that this is just for demonstration purpose. In the real world, real situation, I think most of the time when you're working with fire, you will have to pull the data from your EHR, HIS, EMR, something, and then you map it to the file resource and then send that resource to the server, or maybe other architecture. I just want to tell that this is for demonstration. And now we have this spreadsheet. If you want to pause the video and try to fill the data by yourself, feel free to go on. Otherwise, I will demonstrate it to you. So here is the spreadsheet that I prepared earlier. It's corresponding with this one. And here is the file specification. The first question is from around 150 resource here, which resource do we have to use to fill in this spreadsheet? Okay, so the first one, name of the patient. If you look at the specification and the list of resource, in order to fill in this form, you have to have some knowledge about what resource file offer to you and when to use each resource. That is why in the last session I went through all important fire resource. You can revisit that video if you forget some important resources. So for now, this one is the name, and it's a name of a person, and this person is a patient, right? So even though you don't know fire at all, maybe you can guess that maybe it's this resource, and you can go check with it and to see, oh, there is a name and human name here. So yeah, this must be a patient resource. You can type it like that. Date of birth here like this. Maybe it's the same resource, and you came here. Oh yes, it's also have the date, the birth date here. So it's still the patient resource. ID number is about a patient as well. So it must be here. And yes, it is here. It's the identifier. So it's patient resource. Now it's service type. Service type of that clinical visit. So it's not the patient information anymore. So it should not be in the patient resource. It must be a resource that store information about the visit. And if you remember, that resource is encounter. And this is the date of the visit. So it's still encounter. And now is the information about the hospital. So it has to be somewhere around here. And this one is individual. Maybe we go back to this one, administration. And we go to here. This one is patient. This one is clinical. This one is service provider. So we see organization, location, practitioner. This one is the hospital. So it must be organization or location. Then you go to the resource and read about it. And okay, you think that maybe this one organization is better. And this is organization. They have a name and they have an address. So this one also can use organization as well. Now we have HN. HN is an information that belong to the patient, right? And it's the same kind of identification. So it must be the patient. VN is the way to identify the visit, right? So it must be encounter. Clinic. Clinic is like hospital. You can use organization, or you can use location as well because it's the location. Or maybe if you look at the encounter first, and you will see that how they refer to the location or the organization, and you will see they have an element here, both location and service provider. And they even have other things like service type or priority. I would say in the real situation, one information, maybe there are many fire resources that can serve you, and it depends on agreement between people who exchange information that which one is the most suitable for them. They can meeting and agree. So for the clinic, let's say that what people want is just something to categorize the service. So in this case, I will use the service type here. If you're not sure, or service type or type. If you're not sure, you can look at the value set inside, see what value set they are allowed. This one is from encounter type here, and this one is service type. I think in this case, service type seem to be more suitable. Then I use encounter. And start and end also related to encounter. And the last one is information about the doctor. So we came here and we see that there are a resource for storing the information of the doctor. So we put it here, practitioner. Now we have a rough idea of in which field we will use which resource to represent the information. Then the next step is choosing which element in each resource to represent the information. The first one is name. I want to close this. The first one is name of the patient. Okay, and we see, oh, the patient has a name element here that we see earlier. Name, date of birth, we have birth date here. ID number, we have identifier. Service type, we have encounter. And encounter service type here. Encounter, we have date. So we came here and see the only thing that closest to visit date is period. And if you're not sure what is period, you can read and you can go to that structure of that complex data type, and you will see that there is start and end, and both of them have the primitive data type as date time. And you go there, you will see that date already included in the date time data type. So you can use period for this. And also start is period dot start and period dot end. Right? And because we are in our encounter, so I will continue this. Encounter is, oh, I make a mistake. Service type, maybe I think the more suitable of service type is class, because it's categorized the class of that visit. And from the example data, this one is an OPD visit. So I think this one represents the concept more precisely. So I think this one I will use the encounter class here, and service type I will use it at here. Like I said, it's no right or wrong. It's everything is depend on agreement between people who exchange information. So this one is identifier. And this one is also identifier. And now organization. Okay, we have it here. And we have name as well. And address, like this, address. And the last one is doctor. Let's say that we cannot find what we want, so we go here and then we find with alphabet. And practitioner is here, the letter P. Practitioner, what they want from practitioner, just the name. So practitioner name is enough. Now we have mapped the local dataset to file resource like this. Next, to create a file resource, we have three way to represent the resource. First one is XML. Second one is JSON. The last one is RDF. But I would say RDF is rarely used. I mean, RDF is used for some people who use it, but most people will use XML or JSON. For me, I use JSON a lot because it's easier. But you still have to know the difference between XML and JSON representation of file. When you creating an XML, the first one, the root element must be the name of that resource and the namespace, XML like this. Let's see the patient resource all together and see the example. XML. Oh, okay. I copy like this. And place this here. So the first element is the name, not count this one, the name of that resource and the namespace like this. Right? And element must always appear in the order, like in the specification. Like this, it must start with identifier, active, name, telecom. You cannot switch like identifier and then telecom. That will cause an error. So this is the real example. Identifier, name, telecom, and then gender. Telecom and then gender, right? You may wonder, the first item is identifier, but how this thing came before the first item? And that is because the patient inherit from domain resource, and when we go to that domain resource, we will see that there is text content extension. So text, the XHTML narrative come from domain resource. Yeah, this one was generated. Yeah, and ID come from the base resource. This one. Okay, so the next thing is the name of a resource and element must be case sensitive as in the specs. This one, everything must be exactly like this. The name of element and name of the resource. You cannot start with the small p or make it big A, something like that is an error. And the general rule is that the element name always a camel case like this, start with the small and the capital letter in the middle, and the resource name will be a Pascal case. Start with the capital one. We have to see here resource list like this. Medication administration, resource name always a Pascal case, and element name always camel case. And when you want to put the value inside the XML representation, you put it inside the attribute name value, like this one, name, use value. If it's a primitive data type, you can put it like this one, gender value, like this, because gender is a primitive data type. But if it's a complex data type, you have to nest it, like human name. This one is the complex data type, and within that it has a structure like this. So when you represent it in an XML, you have to put it in the nested the nested one. So name, this one has no the value attribute, right? And every child put inside that element like this. This one, all of this from is the same as this one. Oh, and if it's nest and nest, if it's a complex element and complex element inside that, you just do the same thing, nest it and nest it and nest it. And there is another attribute that maybe you can see uses in extension. That is the URL. I will talk about it later in the extension section, but maybe you see here extension URL like this. So most of the time the attribute in the XML is value, but maybe you see this. Maybe you see this URL sometime when you do the extension. An element and attribute cannot be empty. If you don't have a value to fill, just remove that element. What does it mean is that you cannot do it like this. It's error. Or something like this is also not possible. This one is also error. So if you don't have the value of the gender, just remove it like this. Next one is inside the text here, you can put the XHTML. No need to use an escape character. Put it normally because it's already nested in the text element. If it's a repeatable element, stack that element one by one. A repeatable element is an element that have the maximum cardinality as many or more than one. Like this human name. This one is repeatable, right? When you put it in an XML, you just stack its name. This one is also repeatable, telecom. So telecom. Don't need to put it like this and then make everything a shy of that. No, it's not do it that way. All right. Just stack it one by one. But the order is important. You cannot switch the order. And comment is allowed in XML. You can put comment like this. It will not throw any error. And the Unicode is UTF-8 and my type when you send the information is application/file plus XML. Here it is what I show you already. This one is the start with patient, and this one is stacking the repeatable element and the complex element. And this one is extension, the URL, and this one text narrative. No need to escape. And if you want to create the JSON instead, there will be slightly different to XML. The first property, the first element is the resource type. Maybe you can start with here from the example, and I will copy it here, and then I will paste it here as a JSON. So you will see that the first element is the same hierarchy as other element, because if you see XML, this one is the root and everything is children of this item, but JSON resource type is like this. It's not that you have patient like this, and then everything is a child of that object. So this is the first difference. The second difference is that property can appear in any order. So you can move identifier to this. It's still valid, not error. But in XML, everything must be in the order. But in my opinion, it's a good practice to sort it following the spec, because when people read it, it's more easier. Say that they expect that when they came to the resource, they see identifier in the pretty first. But if the identifier is the last thing, that is, it just feel a little bit weird. So I think it's a good thing to sort it as a spec. And the name of resource and element are case sensitive. This one is the same as XML. Element can be empty. Empty object, empty string are not allowed. You cannot have something like this, or something like this is not possible also, and something like this not possible. All this will be throw an error. If you don't have that value, just remove it. The next rule is that if it's a complex data type, put it in an object. If it's a repeatable element, put it in an array. Like this. Patient resource here, human name is a complex data type, so put it in the object like this, an object, and inside the object the element is like this, element is like this. If it's repeatable, like human name, like this one is repeatable string, so we must put it in an array. So like this, given array. Even though you have only one value, you still have to put it in array. If it's a repeatable complex type, like this one, name is repeatable because it's too many, 0 too many. This one also, telecom, but it's a complex type, so you have to start with array and then you put the object inside that array. So you see that human name is array, telecom is array, and each item inside it is an object. And inside that object is the element inside that data type. So this is how it works. And you cannot insert comment in JSON. I'm not sure in other JSON if it's valid or not to insert comment like this. But in Fire, if you insert comment like this and you send to the server, it will be an error. So you cannot put any comment in here. But in XML, you can put comment in. And XHTML is represented as an escape string because JSON treat it as a single string here. So all other character must be escape. And the Unicode is UTF-8, same as XML, but the my type is application/file plus JSON. This one I already talked about, resource type here. And here, if it's repeatable, put it in array. If it's complex, put it in an object. And this is how they deal with extension at the element level. I just want to show you in case you encounter it. If it's an extension in the element level, you will see that the underscore here inside the element name, this one, the birth date here. But in XML, it treat it differently. It treat it like here, extension as a child of the element, and this is element. This is extension in the level of element. There is another extension in the level of the resource that we will talk about it in the extension session. And this is when you nested the extension. Just skip it for now. And in the specs, you will see an element that is bind to the value set like this one. There are 3 data types in Fire that dealing with the coded data. The first one is code, the second is coding, and the last one is codable concept. Code is the primitive type that only have one code like this. Gender, you can select code from male, female, other, unknown like this. Gender and male like this, very simple. Coding will have a value of a system, the code system, and a code. You can see it in here. Encounter class is a coding. Inside that, you will see a system, version, and a code, a display, many things. What is important is the system and the code. If you see here in the example, you will see that encounter class represent like this, a system of a code system, and the actual code display is for the text narrative of that code. And the last one is codable concept. It's a group of coding, such as in this one, condition. Let's say condition dot what dot code, the code of that condition. Actually, codable concept is a lot. Here, you see that inside is a coding and a text. This means that you can have coding and coding. Let's say that the first one is coding of the Snowmed City, and the second is coding from ICD-10. When is in the example, you see that you will see it here. The code element, we have the coding, and because the code, we have the code, the element name code, and inside is a codable concept. And in that codable concept, there is an element named coding, which can be multiple items. So we have to put an array at the coding. So it become like coding and array. And inside that array is the coding object itself. So here, so it will be like this. If you put it in a JSON, it will be like this. Coding. Maybe this is ICD-10, this is another system, this is another system, but all of them share the same meaning. And this is the text representation of that. This is codable concept. So this structure, code is primitive value, only the code. Coding is system and code. Codable concept is a group of coding. And for every terminology binding, there will be the binding strength at the end of each binding. Like this one, gender binding with the strength require. If you click there, you will see the definition of what is required, but I will summarize it like this. Requires mean that the concept in this element must be a value from this particular value set only. You cannot choose a value from other system unless you do a profile. That is another concept, another topic. Extensible is mean that it shall be from that value set, but if it's not fit your need, you can use other coding, but they still want you to use the system that they specify. Like this, extensible, they prefer you to use from this one, this code, but if it's not fit your need, you can use another system. And the next one is prefer. It means that they encourage you to use, but it's okay if you not use. You can use other code system. Example, the last one is that they not expect you to use. They just give you for an example purpose. So now we know how to create a file resource. I will demo to you how to create this one in a JSON format. So if we came here, we will see that there will be patient, encounter, organization, and practitioner. So there will be 4 resources that we need to create. So I will close this. This one is just my note. And okay, so let's start with the patient resource here. The way to create a resource, you can come here and then see the JSON representation and then copy it and make it JSON and just remove all comment. Like this, and just replace the value. But the problem of this approach is that it came only the top level. For an element that is a complex element, you have to follow the link like this one, identifier. You have to follow the link here and then copy another JSON here and then replace it here, something like that. So I would say it's not quite convenient. So but the good thing is that doing it like this, you will not miss any element here. And one thing I have to mention is that normally when in the real situation, you will not have to create a resource by hand like this. There is a tool and the resource usually created programmatically by a client or some other library. But this is just for practice purpose. So I think the easier way is just go to an example and then just grab some example like this one. And then you paste it here. And to see which data that we need name, date of birth, ID, HN. So we don't need this. ID is the ID of resource. It's not identifier. This one we don't need it, so we will remove. Identifier we need. Active. Actually we don't need, but I think active. We have to see that in the spec. Are there any required element? No, so there are no required element. Active, actually we don't need it, but I think it's a good thing to put it here. So because it's just a practice, so I think we can put it there. Name, Name, yes, we need it. Telecom, we don't need it, so we can remove it. Gender, because we don't need, but I think it's a good thing to have gender here. Birth date, we have it, so this one don't need it. Disease Boolean, we don't need it. And I think we have all the data that we need, so this one we will remove it. So this one is patient resource from fire. Identifier, I will go back later. Okay, let's start with the name. The name here, this person from the example has many names, but our patient has only one name, so we remove it. And we have to see inside the human name data type what is the meaning of each element. I think the use, we don't need it. Family is ใจดี oh yes, family is ใจดี and name is สมชาย only one name. We still have to put it in array because given is repeatable. And then we still need Mr. here, so it's a prefix element. Prefix here, and then we put Mr. like this. Gender is male, and yes, but is this one. You have to keep the format it like this. Start by year, month, and date, because it's specified in the spec that you have to keep this format. So we keep it. So we put this with this. The thing left is identifier. So we have two identifier, and this one is repeatable, and we have this one. How many systems do they have? Oh, this one have only one identifier now, so we have to repeat it like this. And if we go to this one, identifier, we can see the element inside it, and there is these things. So actually there is no element that is required. You can put it like system and value and n, but I will show you in case you want to fill in everything. So the use, because one thing is national ID, and one thing is HN. So I think one thing is official and another one is usual, like this. Type is codable concept. It's quite complicated. I will come back later. And system is the system of the identifier. In other country, there might be an official URL for you to use, but in Thailand we still don't have it, so we can define our own code system for now. And because what is it called in English? Yes, this Ministry of Interior is the one responsible for the national ID, so maybe I use this one. I use their website as the system of identifier, and maybe this national ID, something like that. And period and assigner, we don't need it. And value is this one. So put value here, and this is the first one. The second one is the HN of the hospital. So maybe the hospital have defined a system like hrli.com/HN, something like this. And the HN is this one, so we put it here. These two we don't need it. Okay, so now come back to the type of the identifier. We have to see what is inside this identifier type, and we will see that this value set here, and there are a lot of type. One thing that we can see for sure is that there are the medical record number, so this is definitely an HN. So the code is MR, so we can use this one is already correct. MR. If you want to put the medical record number for, you can read it and understand, you can put it here and say display, because the codable concept has text and coding has display like this. So this one, or you can put it text like this also. So it depends on implementation. So this is the coding, the type of identifier for the HN. Now the type of identifier for the national ID, because this is just some example from the real code system. So if we go here, you will find the real code system, which is pretty large, and you can search national something and you will see a lot, but you will see this one is a national person identifier, so I think we can use this one. And XXX is ISO country code. For Thailand is and comment first. For Thailand is NNTHA, and the code system of this is this one, so it's already correct. One thing to notice is that this system value, you may notice something that in the spec is bind to value set, right? But when they reference in the actual resource, they reference to the code system, not the value set. So this is one thing to remember. Okay, so finish the first resource. Then the next, okay, maybe we start with encounter. So close, and encounter here, and grab some example. It's too short. Okay, maybe this one is better. Raw JSON. I put it here. JSON. Okay, so what we need in encounter? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. This one. Encounter class period identifier. Okay, so let's see what we already have. This one we don't need. We need identifier, because identifier of encounter have data type identifier, which is the same as patient identifier. So basically, all identifier in FHIR, if it use this identifier data type, it share the same structure. So we can copy it here like this to this one, no problem, and we will change the value later. like this, and we have required status here, required element here, so we have to keep it, and we will keep the encounter class like we said. This one keep. Next one is service type, and type, this one we don't need it, so we will remove it. Priority, no need. Subject, this one is reference data type, so we have to reference to the patient. I will talk about it later. Participant, this one is also a reference to a practitioner, so we'll keep it. Reason code, we don't need it. Service provider, in this case, is the hospital, so we keep it. One thing that we are missing is the service type here and the period, right? So service type is here and it's codable concept, so we put it service type, we would put it after the class like this, and it's codable concept, so it's object. And then we see inside that object there is coding, and coding is array O, and inside that coding is coding data type, which have this thing, so you can copy it here, put it here, and then remove it all. And what we need to keep is just system and code, maybe. Okay. Oh, I forget one thing. When I finish this patient resource, I forget to validate. If it, oh, there's an error. Enclosed in the line 44. Oh, okay, so this is my fault. Okay, so now it's valid JSON. Okay, come back to encounter. All this finish. We have to fill in the encounter class to be the OPD. So we see here, and then we see A and B is a OPD, right? So encounter class is already A and B, and the system is like this, which is already correct. So this one is done. Period. Oh, I forget to put the period. Period is the after participant. So period is the complex data type. So it might be in an object. This one, I forget this. Okay, and inside that period, we have two primitives, start and end. So start, just put an empty array for now, and end, and boop. Okay, we can put it now. So start and end of June 1st. So is that like this, start and end thing. And the format of the datetime data type is this one. So date time, and then time zone. For Thailand is +7, right? So the visit start at 9 and end at 12, 24-hour format, and the time zone is +700. So it's this one. So now this one we finish this one. Let's change it, the color. This one. class, this one. So we need identifier and service type. So service type we have here, like this one. Okay, start with identifier is better. So they use, I think usual is okay. The type in this case, I will keep it. So encounter, just let's close something, and encounter identifier type, and see the full thing. Let's see. Okay, they have visit number VN, so it's okay to keep this one VN. But the system must be the hospital, like hre.com/VN, for example. And the value is 123. So value is 123. Okay, now we finish the identifier. The last thing is service type. Is here, and it's just example binding string. So if this one is not solved our need, maybe we can define something. Let's say shake up. No. Actually, I tried to search it before, and I don't think I find something that represent the shake up clinic. Maybe there are something that I just don't know, but it's okay. It's just example binding, so we can define our own system, like the hre.com /service type, like this. Maybe this one is better. It's a URL thing. So the code, we can define our own code as well. It's CHK FUP, something like that. And check up clean check up service. This one. So we finish the encounter type, validate. Okay, error. This one, error. Close. Validate again. Yes, it's valid. Done for encounter. Now the next one is organization. Let's start the new file. Organization. Here, organization, just bring something. And put it here and change it to JSON, and I will remove this. And what we need is name, so we keep the name, and this don't need. And we want address. Inside the address, there will be some element like this. So the address is like this. I think we should have to take one, this one too, like this, for the full text, easier to copy and paste this one. So okay, other thing is quite easy. So the line is an array of the address. We have just this one, and next one is city, district, state. I think state is province in Thailand. This one is Ampere. This one is Tambon. So Phrathai is district. this, and Bangkok is state. Postal code here we don't know. City, and country is country code 2 or 3 letter, so Thailand is THA. Up. Okay, done for the organization. And the last one is practitioner. Is this one? Practitioner, this one. Just copy one of them here. Okay, Jason. What we need is just the name of the doctor. So, are there any requirement? No, this one is required in case we have this one. So if we don't put this one, we don't have to put this one because it's a child of this thing. And so we don't have any require, and we don't know the identifier of the doctor also. So we only know the name. So just keep the name then. Okay. Name is Dr. Somsak Jingjai. So is that Somsak here? Jingjai here, prefix doctor. Okay, let's validate. Pass. So that we finish all resource. Done. How do we know that what we just did is valid? I think the easiest way is just trying to put it to the server. So we will go to my local happy file here, and then happy file here, and then new terminal tab, mvn jetty run, and then happy is ready. No, it's not ready yet. Okay, it started at the local, at the port 8080. So it's localhost 8080. And we have happy file. I will try to put it with Postman, and then put it to my localhost. Okay, I forget that in the encounter, we still haven't reference to other people. When we have to reference to some other resource, like encounter this one. So this is inside the reference data type. There are mainly two ways to reference resource. One thing is literal reference, and another one is logical reference. Literal reference is when you know the URL or the ID of the resource that you want to reference. This one, all of this is literal reference. Yeah, but if you don't know the URL, how did you get the ID? You get the ID when you send this resource to a file server, like this one. I will demo to you. Body is port to patient resource send. This one you will get this ID, and I will save it here for future use. Yeah, like this. So this is the ID. If you want to reference this patient, you can put it here, reference type, and then patient ID is 55002. This one. This is display just for text. Don't need it. So this is the literal reference. or if you know the full URL like this, you can use absolute literal reference like this. Also, this one is a relative URL. So I think relative URL is fine unless you keep data in several servers. Then in that case, you have to use absolute URL. And then if you don't know the ID, you can use the identifier. This is logical reference. Like this, you put it here. Identifier. Okay, I can. Oh, you can give it here. You can copy it here like this and put it in this thing. One thing is that if you reference with the logical reference, you don't know the literal reference, right? So you will not have two things in the same object. And you put it identifier here. So just remove it. And I think I removed more than 9. Okay, so this one, is it still valid? Yes, it's still valid. So don't need this. I think system and value is enough for identify thing in logical reference. No, it's not. I feel it's not correct. Okay, subject here and encounter subject only one. So only one object and reference data type. So it's reference data type. So just put the identifier, and identifier is 1. So it doesn't have to be array. This one. Okay. We put it like this better. Okay, so that is the logical reference. But actually for me, if it's possible, I prefer to use the logical reference like this. So this one is 5002. So the subject is patient and 5002. And participant is the practitioner here. So it has to be actually you should put the participant type in here too to tell that this is his doctor. Okay, put it here. Participant type is the primary performer. So participant type codable concept. So participant must be inside this one and this one. So type it here and is 0 too many. So I have to put it here and it codable concept. So let's put it here, and inside codable concept we have coding. We have coding like this. Coding. And coding is 0 too many. So put it here. And text, no, we don't need it. And inside coding is inside coding is at least system and display. System and display. So system and some system and display. Oh no. System and code. Like this. So value set, the system is participant type and the code is primary performer. So it's this one. Okay, maybe you keep the display. So the display is primary performer, like this one. And this one. Okay, it's still valid. So, oh no, it's okay. So it's still valid, JSON. And now we have the patient and encounter. Encounter, we still need to find the ID of these two. So let's post it to our file resource server organization. I will teach you about this in the next session, but now just watching it. So we got this 5003 here. Then we put it here in the organization, and then the practitioner put it here, send, and this ID. So we got this ID, put it here, and if we put this here to the encounter, post this here to the encounter, we will get these IDs. So everything passed the posting process. So that means that all of this is valid file resource. This one. So we finished. So in the first scenario, we mapping everything to a file resource already. So this is done. Scenario 2. From the previous scenario, upon arriving at the clinic, Mr. Somchai received fasting plasma glucose test. This test have the Lloyd code like this, and he got a result of 80 mg per deciliter. He has also received a blood pressure examination and got the result of 180 millimeter mercury. I think I forget what it's called. And this is normal. This is also normal. The doctor diagnosed him as a health checkup without abnormal condition. The ICD-10 code is this one. So from here, which data should we collect? I already did it like this. This one is the test name. This one is the code. This one is result. This one is interpretation, and so on. So if we create a spreadsheet like the last scenario, it will become like this here. So the first step is filling which resource to be used in each element. For me, because I'm pretty familiar with some resource here, so I can fill it directly. If you don't know which resource to fill, maybe you have to read the resource that you think, oh, it might be the correct one, or maybe read some guide. I think there is a resource guide here to guide you as well. So from here, I will fill in all the resource that we need. So the test name, I think this one is diagnostic report. This one is observation inside that diagnostic. I think this one is also observation. I think this one is also observation. This one is also observation. Observation. This one is condition. This one is condition. And which one in this used for this field? So let's go to diagnostic report to see. We have the test name. The test name is the is inside this code thing. So diagnostic result, that code. This one, we can put it at the code level or at the result level as well. I think this one is depend on the agreement, but for me, I think I will change it to this one. But the result is in the result for sure. So it's a diagnostic report dot result that is referring to the observation, and the observation we have the value, this one, and because the fasting blood is measured in quantity, so it will be one value quantity, this one. And fasting blood interpretation here, so observation dot interpretation. I think it's done for the first thing. Another thing is also the observation, right? Because here is the blood pressure, so it's here, and this one is component of the observation. So it's component. So it's observation dot component dot code. Oh, this one is the same, just the same different component but same structure. And the interpretation, you can interpret at the level of the component or at the level of the observation resource. So I think I will put it in this one. Okay, so next is condition. Here there is a name and code, so you can use this one. The code, because inside the code there will be a name also. Inside the codable concept there will be a text here, or you can use a display from the code system as well. So there are many ways to put the text in there. Okay, so this is the way we mapped it to a file resource. I will start with the fasting blood. So we have all of this. The next resource is fasting blood. So it's diagnostic report, and we get some example. Maybe we use this lipid profile. And because it's a bundle, so we need to get only this thing, and other thing we remove it down to here. And because it's this one, just like this. Oh, JSON format. Okay, so we get the diagnostic report. This one, no identifier is every lab report in the EMR will have the identifier. So in this case is which lab result lab. Okay, lab, and identifier maybe just some number that we don't know, right? Because they don't tell us. Or maybe we can read. I keep it like that. Are there any required element? State that yes. Final, yes. Okay. And the next thing is the code of that test. So is this one, the code of the diagnostic test. So category, they don't require, but I think I can keep it. Category of this fasting blood is I think it's blood chemical. So I think it's this one, CH. Okay, and the code of the fasting blood that they gave us is Lloyd code. This one. The coding system is already Lloyd. If you see something like this, it's because for the famous terminology, there will be already define the system for us. File call will already define for us, so we don't need to define our own system. So Lloyd is like this, but the code is here, and we don't know what is display. So let's see the no, it's this one 155, this one. So you use this as a display. Actually, you can use anything. They just check these two, I think. And the text, we don't need it. Subject is patient. Patient is ID, this one. Effective date, time, and issue. This is depend on agreement as well. So in this case, I think I will use the issue at the time that this version was made. So, or maybe I use the effective, the clinical relevant time period, and it's an X, so we can choose between date time or period. I will choose date time because is the day that the result was the test was done, so it should be here. And this value actually it should pull from the EMR. So here the patient came there at 9, so maybe he got test around 10, and Thailand is this one, time zone. Performer, we can use the hospital lab, so it's this one. And I think we have all required information for that. This one. The next one is observation, so we have to reference to the observation. So the result is here, and we have to reference it, and it has inside this. So you can keep it like this. So you have to create the observation first. Then we go to the observation and just pick something, maybe glucose, and we have the JSON here. Let's put glucose here, and then pull data here. This one we don't need. This one we will have it from our LIS or from the HIS also, but it will different from the report number. So maybe this one and the lab item, something like that, and maybe it's a random number. I think observation. Do they have requirement? Yes, they have state that require. And the code, okay, we can use the same code as the diagnostic report. Actually, we should not do that, but okay, for simplicity, let's do that. Okay, the code. Now the subject, also this one. Also this one, no need. Effective period is the same. We will use effective date time, not the period. Okay, so effective date time. An issue we don't need. Performer we don't know. Quantity I will. These two we know. Reference range, they don't tell us, but we can fill in. So quantity is 80. So it's 80. And the unit, okay, I will show you this one. If you use value quantity, the data type is quantity, and this data type has this structure, value and unit. And in the unit, you have to specify what the system of unit. And in general, fire use the UCOM, universal unit of measurement, as a unit of thing like quantity. So maybe you search UCOM milligram per deciliter, something like this, and you will get the code of that. This one, the code to use the valid UCOM code to fill in here. The system, this is for the UCUM already, and the code is here like this. Okay, so we are done for the quantity. Interpretation, and list here by to the value set with the extensible if we cannot find the code that we want. But in our case, it's just normal. So I think we definitely have normal here. Where is normal? So the code is N. This is the display. So the code is N and the display is normal. I think the code system is already correct. This one, okay, correct. And the reference range, that is low, high. To be honest, I quite don't remember what is the normal range of the blood pressure. Normal range of the blood glucose. I think more than 100 is pre-diabetics or something like that. So we have to check with the reference, or this data may pull from the HIS, from the EMR as well. So okay, so this is just a number that I can remember. So okay, 100 for high, and low I think is 60, and 80 is normal. Okay, so now we fill in every information we need. Let's validate, and it shows us that I do something wrong, and that is here. Okay, everything correct. Okay, and then we put it in the file server. Post here. Oh, error. Invalid date time format. Oh, the T is more than one character. Send. Okay, finish. ID, this one. So we got the ID and we can put it here, observation, in the diagnostic report. So it's done. And I will put it here. Error. Oh, I forget to validate. This one. Okay. Still error. Invalidate time. Okay. Send. Done. Okay, we got diagnostic report and observation. So this one is done. The next thing is blood pressure. So it's another observation. Okay, let's close some of these and bring the observation here. Example, I remember that it has blood pressure here somewhere. Okay, so let's grab it, blood pressure in JSON format. Here. Okay, and we remove this. Typically we might don't know the identifier. Maybe we know it, but I don't know. In this case, I don't know. Just remove. We don't need it. Observation, yes. Category, I think it's good to keep it. Yeah, category like this, and they have the category code and it's vital sign. So I think it's already correct. Coding, I think this one is already correct as well. So coding reference to like code with this code. Subject, our subject is patient 5002. Effective date time, I think. Actually, this one we will pull from EMR as well. The time that the nurse measured the blood pressure. Performer, we don't know. Maybe the doctor measured by himself. Okay, interpretation. It's 180 and it's normal. So it's same here as this one, normal. This one don't need. Body size, we don't know. Maybe right arm, that we don't know. So the next one is component of an observation. Here we have two components, right? The systolic and diastolic. So we will, okay, the code is, let's collect it. Okay, and we will interpret at the, it's a good practice to interpret at the component level as well. So we will keep the interpret here. And is the upper number is 180. This one is correct. Code is like this. You can check at the website. And the lower is this one. And both of them are normal. We don't need the text representation. Normal. We don't need it. Okay, so done. The coding for the diastolic, they have only one coding system, but for the systolic, they show us that in case we have many coding, how can we pull in the codable concept, right? Because code is a codable concept. Code element named code is a codable concept. So, okay, what we need is maybe just line it enough. So we will remove the other two. In fact, you have to check with Lloyd if this code is correct, but typically the one who input it in the EMR will check it already. So I think this is finished format and is valid JSON. So let's send it here to observation. Boom, and we get the ID like this. So put it here. So finish this one. And the last one is condition. This one is pretty easy. You go here and then you grab something, some example. They only have this condition and code, so basically anything is will be fine. Like this. And then here and JSON. Condition is one, nothing. All of this, let's see that are there any required element? All is subject. I think no, so we can remove it all. And category, I think is I think it's good to keep it just because it keep the data to say that this is the diagnosis, not the problem list. So I will keep it. They have the the extensible code here. This one between two number, but the implementer of this resource, they should to add this code from SNOMED. So this is extensible, but for me, I will just keep the code system from HL7 for now. Severity, we don't know. Code is the thing that we care. What is I don't know. Subject, yes, we know. Subject is this guy, 5002. And the diagnosis is up with normal condition. We can put it here, and this is the ICD code. And we have to see here terminology and ICD 10. We have to use this code for the use this value for the system. And if you want to keep display, I think we should see what it is for the formal term of this code, and this one. So it's here, and this take it, we can put anything, or we use the display from the code system. So we finish. Let's see if it's valid. Yes, it's valid. So let's try putting it into. Okay, and then we get this ID. So that is the last one. So we finish all the resource that in this scenario. Oh, okay. So in this session, let's recap a little bit. I designed two scenarios and I demonstrate the process of mapping the data from local dataset to file and demo how to create a file resource in XML and in JSON. But I only demo the JSON version because I'm not quite professional in XML. And the scenario 2, we have deal with the scenario that more complex. So that it is. If you have any question, feel free to post in the comment or ask me on Friday. And thank you very much for attending. See you. Bye.